Joining us now is Trisha LaFache. How are you, Trisha?
I'm great, Donna. How are you?
Good. It's nice to have you on. You have accomplished so much in the field of entertainment. Most recently, though, jury duty. I want to talk to you about that. That sounds like a really great project.
Yes, thank you so much.
So, jury duty is also from the creators of White Lotus. They also created something else. I was just looking at my notes, but The Office. Uh, so
Very
this
small show called The
I know. So these projects that they have brought to life, they're also bringing back jury duty. I also read that when you auditioned, there was maybe a few hundred people, but they said you were the one, like you were the only one. They had to have you. What was that like when you hear that? When somebody appreciates what your efforts are?
I mean, totally awesome to sound as pedestrian as possible. It was really, really awesome. It was when my director and showrunner told me that we were doing a thing that I'm sure you know what it is called EPK, and they were asking me a bunch of questions, and so at the very end of them asking me a bunch of questions, I asked them that question. Uh, uh, why me? And they answered, because you were the only one. They said there were about 300 or 400 applicants, or, people who auditioned for my role. And out of 12 people, I was the only person who everybody sent back that they wanted me because on the show on jury duty, it's an ensemble cast of uh, jurors, and then in the courtroom there are three lawyers who two of us are lawyers who and one of us is a lawyer who plays a judge, and we're all actually lawyers who are actors as well. And so the breakdown said that we had to actually have legal experience, and I've seen that before, but I didn't know that we were going to be actually trying a fake case. So I thought, okay, maybe you had to have a little bit of legal experience. I didn't know that you actually had to really, even somebody who was as smart and as talented as somebody who was a paralegal, I don't think would have been able to do what we did. Even though I think paralegals are wildly underestimated for what they know about the law, you would have had to actually tried a case before to do what we did.
I like that you bring passion to everything you do. You know, originally you wanted to be a ballet dancer, and then you had an injury. So then you poured your whole heart into the legal field and you become a lawyer. And then you decided to, go and put your whole self into this, and talk about like don't quit your day job and things like that. You have lived this dream and now it's such a reality for you. I'm looking at all your accolades of all these different things that you've been in, and they're pretty big, like Dirty John, and there's just so many different things. But now with jury duty, is that like such a joy for you? Do you feel like, oh my gosh, man, I hit it? Because it kind of pulls on all of your loves, like performing and
Yeah.
lawyering and stuff.
Yes, 1000%. And I did pour everything in, but I did it also at the same time. So
Okay.
when I was not going to be a dancer professionally, I went to college and I majored in political science and theater. And then when I went to law school, I actually started my career as a professional actor very quickly after starting law school, because I met a guy in law school like my very first week. Once I decided, like, okay, I'm going to be a lawyer and that's what I'm going to do, I met a guy who was like, I have an agent. And I was like, wait, you have an agent and you're in law school? He was like, yeah. So I said, oh, well, if he's got an agent, I think I can get one too. So then I did. And then for a really long time, I did both.
Wow.
And I was totally entrenched in doing both. So there were times where I would go to visit a client at the jail and then head to an audition, or go to an audition and then visit a
Wow.
client at the jail. And I was really, and even one time I was doing a play at the New York Public Theater, and John Patrick Shanley, the playwright, said to me, "You know what your problem is?" And I was like, "What's my problem, John Patrick Shanley?" And he said, "You're bifurcated." And I said, "It's not true, John Patrick Shanley." And then years later, I was like, I'm bifurcated. He's right. Um, and no one in their 20s wants to be told by John Patrick Shanley that they're bifurcated, especially when you don't know what it means. But it was tough to be so totally, and I'm sure I slipped a disc carrying my audition clothes with my heels in my suit to the F train in Brooklyn. But yeah, to answer your question and not digress so much, yeah, it definitely feels like a very full circle pinnacle moment to be on a hit show wherein I am doing a thing that I did forever, while doing another thing that I've done forever at the same exact time.
It's like a blended smoothie, right? You're
Yeah,
like it's like
the perfect
bananas, a little bit of
sweet
kale,
and
blended all
sour.
together. That's Trisha. I mean that's for you. Um,
Yeah.
so I have to ask you too. Growing up, did you know this? Did you know that you're kind of like a unicorn? Did you know that there was something a little unique and different about you that you just go for everything?
Well, I think, oh God, Donna, you asked the hard hitting questions. That I think was, yes, like being a dancer. And I think, like, I'm from Utica, New York. You're on Long Island, right?
Yes,
So I think
yes.
that Utica, New York is kind of a little bit similar to Long Island. I mean, you guys are much closer to the city than we are, but kind of, a little bit of a stepchild to New York City, and has a lot to prove in its own way. And, but special in its own way. A lot of characters are from Utica. Everyone there is really funny and spicy and just off the little left of center. And my dad is an attorney, and which is a big reason why I went to law school, because he really wanted me to go and I really wanted to maintain his love. And my mom really also wanted me to go. And I think that I was a little bit shiny, but I didn't really want to feel different. I wanted to be like everybody else, but no, I didn't. I also was like directing plays, and I was like choreographing, adult productions of Annie at like 5. And like I wanted to be like fit in, but also boss everybody around. And
I did a lot too growing up. My mom would always say, "I can't wait for you to drive, Donna Marie." And I'd be like, "Why?" She goes, "If I have to take you to one more activity," because every night of the week she'd be trying to get dinner on the table, and my brothers also had activities, but I was doing everything. I was Girl Scouts and Futures of America singing group, and then I did this, and then I did cheerleading, and
yeah,
I did another thing. And she just said, she goes, "I can't wait till you could drive." Most parents don't want their kids to drive. My mom was like, "Get
right,
a car,"
yeah,
just getting.
exactly. Wait, are you Italian?
I am, yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah, like
Uh,
Donna Marie, I was going to say you must be. And like you've got your own show and you're super successful. So did you feel like you were a unicorn?
yes. From the time I was at,
But
from the time I was in,
it's easier for you to say it.
oh, you know what it is though? I didn't realize it though, maybe until recently, but like I was in second grade and I was always getting my name put on the board, like, Donna, check mark, check mark, check mark. Cause I was always like sitting there talking to my neighbors, talking to my friends, constantly getting in trouble. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
me just like
surprise
this.
me. Yes, because it doesn't surprise me now that I like to talk to people, right? I'm just like, I think about my second grade teacher. I think about all those opportunities in life. And I'm very blessed and very happy to be doing what I'm doing. And I'm so happy for you, Trisha, because when you get to take all that energy and that talent and that heart and that chutzpah, right? And somebody taps you on the shoulder and says, "Trisha, we want you," nothing better than that. So
Well,
continued
you get enough
success.
no's that when they finally say we want you, it feels pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels really good when somebody wants you. So, and I'm glad that you came on here today because I was like so excited. I was like, "Oh, I hope this works out." So, I'm glad that, technology was in our favor today, that the spirits aligned, and happy belated birthday to you, Trisha.
Thank you. And thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Happiness to you. Happy birthday to you,
Thank you, Donna
Trisha.
Marie.
Bye. Bye-bye. Nice to meet you again.